Saturn is also identified with Noah. The memory of the deluge itself we have already found to be preserved in the heathen mythology. We come therefore to Noah and his posterity. Many parcels of Noah's memory were preserved in the scattered fragments of many fables, under Saturn, Janus, Prometheus and Bacchus. Bochartus insists on no fewer than 14 parallels between Noah and the heathen Saturn, which he said are so plain, that there is no doubt but under Saturn, Noah was understood in the heathen mythology. Saturn was said to be the common parent of mankind, so was Noah. Saturn was a just king. Noah, not only righteous himself, but a preacher of righteousness. The golden age of Saturn was between Noah and the dispersion of nations. In Noah's time all mankind had but one language, which the heathens extended under Saturn, both to men and beasts. The plantation of vines attributed to Saturn by the heathens, as to Noah by the scriptures. The law of Saturn mentioned by the poets, that none should see the nakedness of the gods without punishment, seems to respect the fact and curse of Cham, in reference to Noah, Saturn and Rhea, and those with them are said to be born of Thetis, or the ocean, which plainly alludes to Noah and his companies escaping the flood. Thence a ship was the symbol of Saturn, and that Saturn devoured all his children, seems to be nothing else but the destruction of the old world by Noah's flood. Hence a ship is said to be the symbol of Saturn, and Saturn is said even by Sancho Nathan to sail about the world. Noah preserved himself by virtue of a ship, so did Saturn, by his flight into Italy, in such a vessel. That Saturn invented coinage, and so the oldest Roman coins showed a head of Saturn on the obverse and a ship's prow on the reverse. Noah is, like the others, an allegory of the sun. The first or oldest of the pagan deities is said to have been Saturn or Cronus. He is represented by the ancient writers as the son of Coelus and Terra, or of Uranus and Terra, the heaven and the earth. Faber considers Saturn and Janus as the same deity, and the same as Cronus or Noah, and the sun. Noah, Manu, and Xisuthros are one and the same personification of the solar emblem. Xisuthros, the Babylonian Noah, is the sun in the sign of the waterman in the zodiac. Xisuthros, or Xisuthros, is the sun in the sign of the waterman in the zodiac. He is the lunar Saturn. Noah and the sun were henceforth regarded as one divine object, and the ark, in which he was preserved, was profanely reverenced in conjunction with the moon. Thus Saturn, Jupiter, Neptune and Pluto, taken conjointly, are evidently Noah, Ham, Japheth and Shem. Nevertheless, as will hereafter sufficiently appear, Saturn, Jupiter and Pluto when considered separately are all equally the solar Noah. Others, and some of the best writers, take Saturn to have been the same with Noah, who was the father of all mankind after the deluge, and the king of another golden age. There is a coincidence so close in the character of Noah and Saturn that many regard the latter as only the heathenish copy of the former. It was said of both that in their days mankind had but one language. Noah's name in Hebrew signifies a man of the earth. So of Saturn Noah planted the first vineyard, and the same act was ascribed to Saturn. Noah was overcome with wine, so was Saturn when his son is said to have maimed him, and he was ever considered the protector of drunken persons. Saturn is said to have made the crime of seeing the gods naked punishable by law. He is said to have foretold great quantities of rain, and the building of an ark for the escape of men, beasts and birds. Noah had 3 sons left to him which were not destroyed by the fulfillment of his own prophecy, so had Saturn 3 left to him. Noah's eldest son Ham or Cham, was the Ammon or Hammon of the Egyptians and Africans, and Ammon was one of the names of Jupiter. Japheth, Noah's second son, is supposed to be the Neptune of the ancient mythologists, having the islands for his residence, and Shem is supposed to have been Pluto, as he was so holy, and so hated idolatry, that a wicked generation strove to blacken his memory by associating it with somber and gloomy images and putting into his hand the scepter of hell. That Noah passed among the Greeks and Latins under the name of Cronus or Saturn is so fully proved in many particulars by many learned authors, that there is no room left to doubt it. But the explanation becomes clearer when we recognize in Noah a solar hero, and in the account of the deluge a very ancient solar myth, as Goldziher, Steinthal, and other Hebrew scholars have learned to recognize. Xisuthros is the sun at setting. The journey of Xisuthros is the journey of the sun at night below the horizon, but also, as in all solar myths, the sun is dealt with here as god of the year, not solely or even chiefly as god of the day. Thus, the hero of the deluge legend is the god of winter, which like night, brings rest from agricultural labors. He, Noah, had 3 sons, Shem, Ham and Japheth equals the 3 seasons of the year of the ancients. God shall enlarge Japheth and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem. Genesis 9:27. Correctly translated, this verse would read somewhat as follows: God shall set Japheth loose, when he will let himself down into the tents of Shem. Allusion is here made to the precession of the equinoxes, by reason of which the seasons will be made, in time, to exchange places. Spring, Japheth, will take the place of winter, Shem, winter, of summer, and summer, Ham, of spring. God, or Aries, is made the agent because the precession is reckoned from that constellation. Japheth, Japheth, signifies the beautiful, brilliant. It is a solar name. As the sun of the daytime is observed wandering from place to place, it is not an unnatural idea that the sun takes up his abode in the tents of high heaven. For the sun he made a tent in them, the heavens. Ham, the sun as the scorcher, destroys the vigor of the agriculturist, and in arid regions is viewed as his enemy. Shem is the Hebrew name for the sun, and in Egypt Shem denotes heat and flame.